Welcome y'all to the wind down. This week we're going to be talking about over apologizing and how over apologizing can impact your relationships as well as your friendships. So grab your snacks, grab your drink, and let's get into it. Okay y'all, so today I got my mimosa. Cheers. I use Prosecco. Prosecco is really good. I like it better than like using a Brut. So I use Prosecco, and then I use raspberry Simply lemonade, which my best friend put me onto, and it's so freaking good. Mwah, chef's kiss. So I know it don't look that pink, y'all, because I put more Prosecco than lemonade this time, so I like mine to be mwah, but that's what we're sipping on. So let's get into it. So over apologizing is basically just apologizing for things when you shouldn't have to. For example, oh, I'm sorry I fell asleep early, or I'm sorry I took a left instead of a right, or things like that. Like just simple minor things. Or like I remember I used to work in the dollar store, and we were out of a product that a man wanted, and I was like, oh no, I'm sorry, we don't have this. He was like, you don't have to say sorry, like that's not your fault. And that's true, you really don't have to say sorry. And there are times where you can over apologize in relationships, whether that's an intimate relationship or just a platonic relationship with one of your friends. You can just keep saying sorry for things, and they're gonna be like, dang, you really don't have to keep saying sorry for that. And in your mind, you could just be being a nice person, you could be being empathetic, sympathetic, you could be just being nice. But over apologizing does have its negative effects. For one, you can really make somebody feel like they never do anything right. So if you're apologizing all the time, and then they're like, well, what am I doing so wrong to where they feel the need to always have to apologize? Or they can feel that they always have to reassure you and tell you that it's okay every time you apologize. And maybe they don't want to have to do that. And maybe they don't feel that they should have to do that because they feel that you are over apologizing. And it can kind of start a strain in relationships when you're over apologizing. And it's unfortunate because, of course, if you're apologizing, you're not meaning any ill intent behind it. But just because it's not what you mean doesn't mean that the effect doesn't happen. So it is important to just be mindful of over apologizing, and just be mindful of just how much you're apologizing, engaging when you should and when you shouldn't apologize. And again, y'all, it really is a case-by-case basis. You know that person better than we do on the other side. So if that is somebody who feels they need that apology, then okay, apologize. But if that's somebody where you can tell it's kind of starting to take a toll on them, then maybe y'all should sit down and have that conversation about apologies and being sorry. So why do we over apologize? Over apologizing can be a trauma response. When you were younger, or if you had a traumatic experience in any time, in any stage of your life, you can over apologize because you want to avoid conflict. You don't want to make somebody upset, or you don't want to be the reason why somebody has those negative emotions and stuff like that. Like I know for me, I don't want anybody to be upset with me. And that right there, y'all, is people pleasing. It can lead into people pleasing. Over apologizing can be a symptom of you being a people pleaser because you don't want to upset anybody, and you will literally put your own feelings at stake and at risk just for the greater good of the public. And it sounds like a good thing, but it's really not, because you really do have to learn boundaries, and you really do have to learn how to put yourself first. Being an apologetic person and thinking about the community is a beautiful thing, don't get me wrong, but you have to have that balance. There is a scale when it comes to thinking about other people and thinking about yourself, and it's best to try to keep it as 50-50 as possible, because you don't want to strain yourself and in the end cause burnout. So even though you may be apologizing with good intent, it's important to realize that it can come off as passive aggressive. It can come off as kind of sarcastic. Like there's different ways that different things can come off. So saying I'm sorry for things that you don't have to say sorry for, you shouldn't have to say sorry for, just really simple things like, oh, I missed your phone call, or oh, I fell asleep, or oh, I put something in the wrong place, but it's right here. Like some things don't cause for an apology. And I read that there is a way that you can try to combat apologizing a lot, and that's by replacing apologies with gratitude. So instead of sorry, I fell asleep, thank you for staying up and waiting for me, but I fell asleep. I misplaced your things, thank you for telling me where to put it, but I put it over here, or by mistake, or just things like that. Like just replace the sorries with gratitude. Thank them for being understanding. Thank them for being on that end, because if you're apologizing, that's what you're apologizing for, right? You're apologizing because you want them to know you are thankful, you are appreciative, you didn't mean anything negative or ill behind what happened. So instead of apologizing, try to show some type of gratitude. Thank them for understanding, and it can go a long way, y'all. Apologies are kind of like decorations. They're necessary, but too much can be too much. And once you start putting too much on there, it's easy for it to become overlooked. So if you apologize too much, when you really are apologizing for something that you're trying to be genuine for or genuine about, it can read as inauthentic, like it can read as you're not being genuine in this apology. So I think that it's important to just take everything with a grain of salt. Think before you apologize, and it's not gonna be a quick turnaround. If you're somebody who over apologizes a lot and just apologizes like that, it's gonna be hard to just stop. So try to call yourself out on it. Acknowledge when it happens, write it down, try to use the gratitude method, come up with different ways to change it. But the first thing that you should do is acknowledge it. Catch it in the moment, catch it when it happens, so that you can plan for the next time. So the moral of the story, y'all, apologize, but apologize within reasoning. If you listen to this full episode on Apple or Spotify, thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure to give the podcast a thumbs up and make sure to leave some reviews so I know that you love it. If you're watching on YouTube, hey girl, hey, thank you for watching. Make sure to hit that sub button and the bell button so you don't miss any of the notifications. Mind you, y'all are the best community, so I'm looking to grow. We are at 150 subscribers. Yay! So we're on our way to 200 subscribers, so we'll be there soon, y'all. Thank you so much. You are worthy, you are loved, you are blessed, you are amazing, and you are the best. See you next time. Bye.